and Neil Kimball.
Oh, Neil Kimball Cho.
Night's Watch, House of the Red Door. Looks like Alex Black is being typed in on the other side, which is Martell, Banner of the Rose. Will this be the combo deck? Even with an errata
no.
Annals?
No.
No.
First of all, I've heard that no.
I'm just trying to stir up some interest, Alex.
Wait, you're stirring up interest by saying it might be combo? Because I think you're working this backwards. We will drum up interest by telling people it's not combo and it's not playing against Night's Watch. Although, is that Night's Watch? I didn't see.
Night's Watch,
House
of the Red Door, Brandon's Gift. Oh boy.
Oh no!
So it looks like we got to build this match.
I trigger the gift.
Alex, I won't blame you if you suddenly have to leave. So take care.
My kids are on fire and my dog is drowning. I trigger the gift. Well, we have JC Wama to blame for this.
And blame him we do.
And blame him we do. Hey, it was one of the worst cards in the first cycle.
It was. There was a brief time when we can all look back on those days.
All right, what does a Martell Banner of the Rose do? We know what the Stark gift, or with the Night's Watch gift does.
Yeah,
we know exactly what it does. What is the Stark Rose doing?
So I mean,
or the Martell.
There could be a variety of different things that it's doing. It could be.
I mean, the original Martell Rose was Sam Bratz's at the very first Worlds.
Yep, at the War of the Five Kings tournament, and that was kind of a sort of a mini curve deck. Played a lot of like Gaston Gray and
Varys,
Varys, all of that mini curve reset kind of thing. It could be porting in some more power rush and stand stuff. It'll be really interesting. It could be any number of things, especially now that Tyrell has gotten their deluxe expansion. There's a lot of options.
So these are two excellent players as well. We've seen them perform very high level.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, looking at what have we got in hand? Venomous Blade, Ario Hoda. I think I saw Secret Schemes, Dorea Sand, Dornish Spy. Okay, so it seems like it's going to be going more towards the tempo kind of control
sort of
side
Martell
of
Wolf
things.
type thing, but
Right.
we haven't seen much of the Banner of the Rose cards yet.
Right.
Although I am particularly looking forward to a delightful play with the Planky Town Orphans, or Planky Town, whatever they're called, where you jump in a character and then to the Rose banner them, and they can't leave play.
Yes.
So you just get the gold for free. I mean, it's jank, but it sounds delightful.
Yes.
I really do like those Planky Town Orphans. There's a lot to be said for that card.
Yeah, I think so too.
It'll take a little bit of work to get going because it's the non-Martell character restriction.
Right.
But I still think it's a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely. That's just in favor of the old gods, isn't it? That just came out?
Yes.
Excellent. And yes, we've got Brandon's gift. House of the Red Door, Brandon's gift. The less said of that, the better.
Now, what kind of location control can we expect in a Martell Rose? And the answer is none.
Yeah. I mean, he might be playing some Nightmares. That's about it.
Yeah.
With the with this newest pack, there's the Milk for Locations. I forget what it's called.
Deceased by the Guard.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
But
lovely design, still, in one of those cards that I think it hits non-limited only, so, it can be a dead draw, so it has to be meta-dependent. Just like Lay Siege, there are times where Lay Siege is a really good card, and there are times where you just can't justify the risk of a dead card slot.
Right. So I see Ariane here. I see Black Walder, Elena's Informant, being a Tyrell card, Bastard Daughter, Orphan of the Green Blood.
So Elena's Informant, I mean, it was in the original Martell Rose. was running Clash of Kings or the 491 plot.
Yeah,
and doing 2 power challenges on a turn like that is just a lot of leverage. But I doubt that plot's seeing play right now.
Yeah. Well, we
It's
shall
a
have
melee
to
plot
see.
now.
All right, setting up Elena's Informant and Ariane. It looks like we got a Castle Black and an abandoned stronghold over here on the Night's Watch side.
This is not what the Martel Rose player wants to start with.
No.
I mean, that action advantage from Ariane is lovely, but you need some economy.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Looks like he's got the long plan in there. 2 March to the Wall, Fallen from Favor. So yeah, this is quite similar to the Martel Wolf deck.
Does he have the Nothing Burns Like the Cold? It wouldn't hit him, so...
Doing Fallen from Favor into, and then there's Building Orders. All right. So we've got Neil doing his search for building orders here. Grabbing just an underground vault for a little economy.
Well, on this turn, it certainly pays for itself.
Yep.
That is, if you're not kneeling it for Halder or Othel Yarrick or...
Yeah. Do the builder decks, are they playing Awful Yarrick right now?
No,
I guess
I don't think they are.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple decks who are running him in the last month or so, but not in the builder decks.
Yeah. All right, got some secret schemes. There's an Iron Bank. We'll have it to do in there. Black Walder. There's the...
I don't think this deck runs Put to the Torch. I don't think it runs Political Disaster. In fact, I don't think we've seen any Political Disaster so far, which is another reason why we might be seeing these much decks.
There was one, actually. That was Sam Bratz played it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I missed that then.
Yeah, that was
right
at the very end. He flipped Sam Bratz, or flipped Political Disaster as Steven flipped Trade Routes. And of course...
and wins initiative, yeah.
Yes. So that was pretty good.
That is nice, yeah. And that Stark Reigns runs King's Roads and stuff, so it keeps its location base fairly narrow.
Yep.
Although obviously he's running the Last Hearths now. Although maybe he's expecting their mileage to be mostly spent by turn 3 anyway.
Yep.
And he's never revealing Political Disaster until then.
So he's got a Watch Has Need, and he searched for builders there, grabbed a veteran builder. Going to be gross if he can get Flea Bottom rolling with that.
So does this Martel Rose have enough acceleration? Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, Alex is a phenomenal player, and I'm sure he's got a game plan.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what a game plan can be right now, looking at what his hand and his deck is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's, the game plan almost has to be like, just pick up the advantages that you can, use your tricks to try and eke out every little bit of advantage.
I mean, First Snow is certainly a possibility, and we've seen it in some of the Martel decks.
It was in the Martel Wolf, yeah. Those builder decks can just spam the guys back out so fast, though. You almost need First Snow into Famine to make it stick.
That's true.
But yeah, starting on Justin Ariane is definitely not where Alex wants to be. Looks like there's a veteran builder. Trigger the gift. For a practice blade.
So with Castle Black, and I don't like that arrangement of 2-tiered locations.
Yeah. He's got his economy locations and then his other locations.
And then his strength boosting locations. I mean, there really is. To be fair, currently he can only boost by 3.
It's true. Sure, it'll never get higher than that.
And well out of House Florent Knight range, so there's that.
Yep, not going to be touching anything with that guy.
A very daring move. We get a Desert Scavenger.
Camels.
Is it multiple camels? Or is it just one?
I guess it's just one camel in there, yes. Bastard Daughter.
Not a great card in this matchup.
Not really. Let's see here. He's got in there the Tyrell character who you ambush and then you can replay an event. Emissary of the High Garden or of High
Emissary of High Tower, yeah.
High Tower Emissary? Something along those lines.
Yeah, Emissary High Tower, I think. And then he's got a House Florent Knight and Song of whatever it's called. The Golden Rose.
Rose of Gold, yep.
Look at top 3 and...
Yep, grab an Ario. That is pretty good.
I guess he's got 5 gold.
Yep.
So, but I don't...
I mean, you could potentially... I don't know.
I mean, it's a way to get an unopposed challenge. It's a really good card to have, just not a great card to have this turn.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll do the military and he'll win it, which is fine.
Right, but Neil can just sack that veteran builder if he sees that he's going to lose and ensure that he ends up in the discard pile rather than dead. All right, so pop an Ariane for Ario Hota. I expect to see him sacrifice now. Yep, there it is.
See that he has 5 gold remaining. It's a little weird.
Yeah, 4. I guess I'm counting 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, I see 4.
All right, so it is an unopposed challenge. Gets the power there. All right, so there's the Emissary of the High Tower. Going to be able to play Rose of Gold again. Not that he has the gold to pay for that, unless he Iron Banks, which he may.
I also should take this aside to mention that I did see some brilliant veteran builder play at some point. At Canadian Nationals last year, I saw a veteran builder used to stand their opponent's location, just to get it in the discard because he desperately needed it there, and it was just both, me as the judge and the other player both had to read the card and say, is it really not you control? And no, it is just stand a location. So
yeah,
it was a really pro play. It was very, very good to see. And both the TO and the player against both had to just check the card and make sure it did that.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's really good. So we've got 3 power here on the Martel side, but not much in terms of any kind of permanent board position.
No.
Looks like he may be going with the long plan here. Yep.
Certainly not going to march to the wall at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, attrition may be one of his only routes in, but I don't think attrition works against this deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it just happens that Kim has not drawn enough of those characters, I mean, he was willing to burn a turn 1 7 reserve and only found 1 character. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Neil considering his plot here.
So it may be that he's a little card starved, and if that is the case, then there might be the opportunity for the combination of military claim and Ario Hota to keep the board a little bit small. But I mean, that's a long shot. That's a long shot.
Right. All right, we've got trade routes here. On
counting only his locations. It doesn't matter. It says all locations.
Yep. Grabbing 4 gold quick there. I see a Dornish fiefdom in Alex's hand, so that will help in terms of permanent gold.
Mm-hmm. and a Flea Bottom, which is a card you want to see when you're
absolutely
playing around with Aereo as much as he is.
Yep.
I mean, maybe that is the strategy. You go for as many Aereo uses to get those unopposed that give you a little bit of acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
You play Aereo, you get the challenge, you bounce him back to hand. You play Aereo, you discard him, you Flea Bottom, you bounce him back to hand.
Right. It's possible. All right, so there's Halder. Trigger the gift. Castle Black Builder. And then he gets a Practice Blade on him there.
And a Shadow Tower.
Yes.
Shadow Tower not looking like a major threat right now.
No, not really. So we will see how it is shaken out. Neil has some pretty good coverage here on his with those characters.
Have we seen a Dolores Ed in hand?
I don't know, but it certainly.
You've always got to worry about it, certainly. Yeah.
Yes. Looks like there's a Venomous Blade, which could poison Halder here.
That's probably worth it.
Yeah, I would certainly say so. I hate Halder so much.
I mean, you're sacrificing the ability to put Ariane on the board, which is what he's got to be debating. But
right.
But Halder is just such a nuisance. Having him in the dead pile is gonna be a...
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like that is the play, as we expected. And yeah, just 1 gold.
Hanno is saying, did we forget, or did a player forget gold from last turn? I don't know exactly what you mean there. He's only flipped his plot this turn, so he'll be able to keep any gold he generates till next turn.
All right, so Neil obviously passing his challenges there. And then,
I mean, mostly, and now he can actually use the Shadow Tower to lock out the Intrigue challenge. So that seems like an odd decision.
Yeah, I probably would have gone Intrigue first.
Maybe he's just trying to generate the income for next turn and trying to lose the 3 challenges. Or 2 challenges, which is all he'll get.
Yeah. So Alex does have an Elena's Informant in his discard pile now that he'll be able to pop in.
And he has a gold, that's true.
Yep. So he'll still be able to get that off. But it's still worth using the Shadow Tower and forcing him to use it.
Mm-hmm. Unopposed?
That seems a little bit odd.
Extremely odd, given that he can now use the Informant and drop in an Intrigue challenge if he feels so inclined.
Right. Yes. Oh, all right. I guess that is that.
He really wanted at least 1 gold to stick around.
Yep.
Knowing he can march, I guess.
Yeah. We're going to see
March. And I think
for sure
he has to, yeah. Now, does he have to march his bastard daughter? Does he need to get that attachment
I think
back?
that's what you would want to do, yeah, to get that Venomous Blade back.
Well, it depends whether he really wants to replay that event.
Sure.
So there certainly is a case to be made for getting the emissary into the discard pile for Flea Bottoming.
Right.
But I think if you're trying to play the attrition game, and that's the one he's been playing right now, I think you march the bastard daughter.
Yep. And then for the watch, over on Neil's side.
Mm-hmm. And certainly that means Neil knows that Venomous Blade is there and has to marshal accordingly.
Right.
And has to marshal first, I presume. The
Yep.
8 initiative should have controlled that. So it does give a little more room. The trouble is Night's Watch doesn't really have the clock ticking yet. Hasn't marshaled that wall. And so the Martel Rose is trying to ensure that when that happens, he's not so far out of striking range that he can't close the game. Nothing's decided yet. I mean, it's
well, there's the wall.
The clock is ticking.
And Isle of Ravens.
Isle of Ravens. Ooh, that is a tough thing to see.
That's
on
really
a deck
good.
that plays with that. That is a really tough thing to see.
Yep. Putting that Elena's Informant right back in there. Yeah, I quite like Isle of Ravens as a counter to Flea Bottom nonsense.
Oh yeah, costs you 1 gold and it's much more reliable than Put to the Torch is.
Right.
It's easier to trigger and it's not necessarily as versatile against the decks that aren't playing it, but there are also decks playing Annals, and it's a nice little thing to have against some of the combo decks as well. So it's certainly got its place.
Yep. All right, so marshaling over to Alex now.
7 gold because he's got 1 gold carried over from last turn.
Yep. And he shouldn't have any problem knocking the wall down this turn, but it's the next turns that is going to start ticking up.
He also has to make sure he doesn't fall into the universal trap of walking into that plot.
Yeah.
he cannot start with the power challenge.
Yes. All right. He touched it, so we can hopefully assume that he is well aware.
Mm-hmm.
He's got another Rose of Gold in his hand. All right, looks like we are using Flea Bottom right now. Gotta grab that Bastard Daughter.
Just to get the military challenge annulled.
Yep. And there that is. Challenge, no winner.
Yeah. Intrigue challenge with Ariane, presumably.
Mm-hmm. Yep, or power.
No. Oh, yeah, it looks like it was a power, yeah.
Go and intrigue then here.
So does that build just run another counting or means of getting it? Yeah, I did think it was a little weird to not do the intrigue with Ariane. But I guess the strength boost could have happened on any.
Right, it could have won it even with Ariane, yes. Playing Rose of Gold. Let's see what he can find. There's a Southron Messenger there. That can be tempting. Ooh, Pyromancers. Pyromancers.
that
is
Pyromancers is a nice thing to see. That's a 5-cost character he can drop in with that with Ariane. So it's gonna be juicy. I mean, you're sacrificing power, which is something you never want to do.
Right,
but to get rid of that clock, yeah, I think you have to. It probably draws out of Valor though.
Yep.
Which again buys you enough time. I still think it's likely to be a right call.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I guess he can win this intrigue if he really felt like it, right? He still has an Ario Hota in hand.
Yep.
But he decided.
But I imagine he wants to bounce in the Pyromancers with Ariane.
Yeah.
Rather than. Yep, Pyromancers. Oof, that's certainly a blow for the Night's Watch.
It is. We were wondering what location hate was in there. Well, we got our answer.
Yeah.
We've seen Martell decks run Pyromancers before. I've done it in some of my own. That was a really good top deck to pull with that Rose of Gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
That may have been what he was digging for with his mulligan as well.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
having
for
one of
sure.
those in hand, because you're not going to lose any intrigue challenges defensively. So you can just
Right.
wait for the right time where you need to drop the Pyromancers. Now, you're likely to get a Valor here.
Yep.
Guess he didn't bounce Ed, even though Ed won the challenge. That's a mistake, especially if you're flipping Valor this turn.
Right. All right, so a second
And
march.
he's not flipping Valor,
routes.
and he's losing Ed to the march, which is that hurts. So Martell's got to be really happy right now.
Yes.
The
He's
Pyromancers are on the board for one more turn at least. He's got an Ariane in hand. This is looking much better. There's much more room for the Martell.
Right.
Still far from decided, but certainly given that start that the Martell.
That Pyromancers gives him the edge he needs to have the room to play, and then keep the Night's Watch from getting the upper hand.
So the chat seems to be saying this deck likely runs Valor Dohaeris and not Valor Mokulis, which is probably true. So JC Wama, certainly his later versions of Builder, once VD was out, swapped in venereal disease.
Yeah, we'll see if Neil has an answer to Pyromancers. He's going to need that, I believe. Or else he's going to need to shift game plan role. All right. Well, there's a milk on Pyromancers, so that helps.
Not the end of the world. We know he's running things to bounce the character back to hand.
Yep, he's got Iron Bank.
So he can already Iron Bank if he's so inclined, and drop Ariane and just repeat the procedure. So.
Yep. Playing a Castle Black Mason.
Although it will delay by a turn. Oh, so he is running Othel. He does have an Emissary of Hightower in his discard pile. Depending on when that Isle of Ravens gets used, the Emissary of Hightower can also be used to bounce those Pyromancers back to hand.
Yeah, I think that Neil is going to definitely want an Isle of Ravens before we get to challenges phase.
Yeah. But once a player has forgotten to bounce Dolores Edge, you got to say, well, there'll be other mistakes. That's not fair, but you can't count on perfect play from your opponent. So you got to leave that margin of saying, yeah, maybe I'll get a chance to use that emissary. So 6 gold here for Alex. A daring choice. That limited location.
The true innovation. There's Ariane again. We will see if he decides to bring in that emissary of the High Tower.
Christian, you may be right. That bastard daughter was brought in by Flea Bottom.
It
should be at the bottom of a deck.
Yes, it should.
Unfortunately, we don't have direct line to the judges.
Yeah.
So
it might get caught.
These things happen. It's unlikely to have been intentional. So.
All right, so we are using Flea Bottom here. Yep, emissary. There it is.
Choosing the Iron Bank will have its due, certainly.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like.
And even if it gets canceled,
that combo,
you still get your character back to hand, and he can Ariane it straight back in. So he's got what he needs. Right. He also can launch a power challenge with the emissary and win it, thanks to the gold he'll have from bouncing the Pyromancer. He can drop an Ario.
Yep.
So this Bastard Daughter, thankfully, isn't making much of a difference right now. I mean, they may have made a difference to the way Neil played and so on, but it's not going to be the thing that breaks this game at the moment.
Right. All right. So he is thinking about double blocking here.
Yeah, he certainly knows that there's an Ario in hand.
Yep.
He.
That should be enough to give him the edge to win this between the Castle Black and the Abandoned Stronghold. Because Alex would have to use Ario on one of them. But then he can boost the other.
It's a 7, yeah.
Yep.
Can he ambush in the blade and boost himself to 7? He could.
He could.
So he could actually win this if he so chose.
Yep. Well, because he'd have to bounce Ariane to bring in Ario Hoda. So that would
true. Yeah. So he wouldn't win this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets use out of that Shadow Tower.
Yep.
Not much use out of it, because the Bastard Daughter shouldn't be on the board, and the
Looks like Intrigue Challenge is chosen here.
Mm-hmm.
Blocking with Uthal Yarok. All right, so there's Ario.
That seems to be a mistake to me. I would much prefer to have bounced the Pyromancers with the event that he's allowed to.
Well, he can't bring it back into play in the same round.
Oh, that turn with Ariane.
That's part of the event that you can't play or put into play.
Phase or that round?
The whole round.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, never mind. I'm forgetting basics about the game.
It's all right. There's a lot of basics.
Thanks. That wasn't condescending at all.
Oh, all right. So using it on Ario instead of the Pyromancers.
Yeah, I mean, he must feel like right now he only needs the Pyromancers if the wall comes down again. So I guess that's what he says.
Not convinced that's the right call, but
no. And so the military challenge. Did he military with Ario first? No, he didn't even bother.
Yeah, because he could have just won with the Grizzle Miner.
Yeah, but the Miner would have been knelt. I guess he was winning Dom anyway.
Okay. Using Iowa Ravens to shuffle the wall back in.
Yeah, I can see that that call. Maybe he has confiscation in the plot deck or a 3-9-1.
Sure, weapons at the door.
Weapons at the door. In which case, our criticism of Alex is meaningless.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a bit of an odd inclusion for.
It would for this deck.
Yeah. Currently at 7 power to 1 in Alex's favor.
Yes, but I'd certainly say that the board states favor Kim at the moment.
Yeah.
Or Kim and Neil.
Drop an Ario into the discard pile where he can use him a flea bottom.
There is a first no winner in that plot deck, so.
Yep. All right, so looking like Valor Morgulis here into Counting Coppers.
That's it's not ideal.
No, certainly not.
mean, you lose a lot of threat on that Valor turn. I guess he's worried about that Othel-Yarick, maybe. But counting coppers does refill his rapidly fading stash of characters. And 2 gold goes a long ways with Trigger the Gift.
Yeah. Discards a Craven with the Bastard Daughter pull.
Probably not the thing you wanted to discard. You probably wanted to fish out another character, really.
Craven probably wasn't going to do too much work there.
No.
All right, so Alex is looking at 3 gold here with 1 more from the Dornish fiefdom.
Just enough to put an Ariane on the board. Yep. Not enough to matter all that much. Although he's really hoping to Ariane and be able to House Florent Knight his way onto something. It's just not likely to be enough. Maybe on your opponent's 2 gold turn, it might be.
Yeah.
Who knows? 3 gold, I guess, with the Underground Bolt.
Yep. Yeah, 3 gold with that. Depends on if he spams out something like the little Chud builders or not.
Building up a little econ base.
Yep. So foregoing the chance to play Ariane this turn then.
Mm-hmm. No House Florent Knight ambush. And he can't count on Aereo sticking around in that discard pile.
Yeah. Certainly not. We've got, looks like it might be that Alex is just sitting on 4 gold.
That seems to be the case.
It would sure be a lot.
Did Neil manage to draw into some of the cheaper characters he needs to start things here?
Right. Well, there's one. That's your lookalike, I believe.
He's 2 strength printed.
3.
So just above that of ambush venomous blade, which he can't ambush anyway. He doesn't have a target.
Right. Forget what that guy's called. See the shadow? No, not the Shadow Tower Mason.
The one that lets you kneel to builders to look at the top 10 cards.
That's the Castle Black Mason. This one is. There's only so many Eastwatch.
Mason of Castle Black builder.
There's only so many variations of insert Night's Watch, castle name, insert job in the Night's Watch.
Hey, Greyjoy used to be the culprit in 1st edition with all the Raider from Orkmont Reaver, Raider from Pike.
Yep.
Reavers from Pike, Raiders from Orkmont's Reavers.
Yep. The chat is telling us that it's the Eastwatch Carpenter.
Ah, yes. Yes, how could we forget?
How could we have forgotten? All right, so he's going to make a challenge. Doesn't really matter what it is. Ario Hoda pops in to deny that to him. And then goes on to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, and Dom will go to Alex.
Yep, 8 power to 1.
8 to 1.
It is slow going here.
It is, and normally that would favor the Night's Watch, but that wall is no longer in the discard pile. Shuffled back into the deck, I suppose.
Right.
As Secret Schemes in...
Dominance looks like.
Yeah.
Since nothing stood yet.
You'll certainly have to discard quite a few cards here, but that's not necessarily a problem with...
Right. Not with Blue Bottom in play. Isle of Ravens to shuffle Dolorous Ed back in.
Yeah, that's basically admitting I made a mistake. We
got the standing phase. Has Alex used both of his marched yet, or does he still have one in there?
I believe he used both.
Yeah.
One on the Grizzled Miner and one on the... I might be wrong about that, actually. He definitely used one to get.
He definitely used one. I forget if he used both of them or not.
Yeah, he used the one on Dolores Ed for sure. But I think he may have picked off a Grizzled Miner with a practice blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
did. First snow and retaliation are what he has left. He's gonna go first snow and bounce this
snow
guy.
is likely the correct answer here. Yeah.
Yeah. Close call on the Night's Watch side.
Also, Yarrick gets back into the discard pile so he can be shuffled by Isle of Ravens. Isn't this exciting?
Combo. Does not get the extra draw from close call because first snow of winter is out.
You're right, but he drew anyway.
I think he drew 2 cards only.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right.
So I think it was fair play.
Yeah.
So yes, that pro Eastwatch Carpenter is going to be leaving. We'll see if he can actually marshal something that will stick here.
Did he trigger the Carpenter? It should be 2 gold, right?
Right. Yeah, 2 gold for every 2 Night's Watch locations. I think he may have. He's got some stacks of gold there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly what's hiding in there.
Right. And there's the wall. It's
the
back.
Wall, but an undefended wall.
There's Molestown.
Molestown. That's kind of fun. I haven't seen that before.
I like that quite a bit. I've also not seen that actually played in a tournament.
It has to kneel to drop that gold over, right? You can't shut down 3 characters at once.
Yeah,
so
you
it
kneel
doesn't do anything against. Yeah.
You kneel it and you choose a character that has no gold, and then that character can't be declared as an attacker for that phase. All right, there's Ariane.
Yeah, forcing a double use of, allowing him to likely get 2 unopposed challenges this turn. Ariane could get shut down, but he can still drop in a character from his hand and one from his discard pile and get what he needs. So
Right. Yeah, Alex doing a great job of kind of like we talked about at the beginning, just sort of eking out all of the little advantages, making the plays that you can in the moment.
I mean, in this case, I think Neil has to deny him that 3rd challenge, so he has to use the Molestown Brothel.
Yep.
Does he get to pull out all, or are there no characters in the discard? No, there are 2 there.
Yep, there's the orphan, the Blood and the Bastard Daughter.
And the Bastard Daughter. That are left. I think a 3rd character was put in the discard or shuffled into the deck. So.
Yeah, that was Dorea Sand. Got Ario back in hand, actually.
Well, that's what secret schemes are for.
Yep. All right, so making his challenge here. Taking the wall down, so that is going to be power 9/10.
I mean, why don't you force the use of this? At this rate, it's not going for another 3 turns. Why not use the brothel? What are you worried about?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that he will use it at some point here.
I think here you actually go after the hand, allowing. Oh no, but you don't have an extra intrigue character in the discard pile.
So dropping in a Let Us Informant to do 2 power challenges or a 2nd power challenge, and then.
Well, I don't think you do the 2nd power challenge. Why?
Oh, you're saying
the claim is 0.
I see, because there's no.
You go after the hand. Yeah.
Yes.
Now he can drop in an intrigue character, so he can get at least 1 intrigue in, but he can't get a 2nd intrigue in.
Yeah, he still has Flea Bottom and Ariane both to.
This is okay. That's really cool. So he still has a Flea Bottom. Oh, he can't use the Flea Bottom trigger though.
Yeah, out of gold now.
It would have been too pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty good. There's Yeah.
No,
Gotta-
I guess I'm not sure that was the right play. He could have gotten 3 challenges out of that turn.
Right. He's going to be playing Retaliation into, Ballard or Harris. The chat was correct.
So we're 4 power away from a victory here, knowing Molestown Brothel will slow things down and the clock is ticking. It's still not guaranteed, but I think Alex can probably eke a power or 2 here. With no power on Neil's house, though,
Yeah,
it's not going to be effortless.
I think Alex has a good shot. But Neil's not out of it yet because he's got this very well set up location base. If he can marshal out enough characters to actually kind of slow this down,
I mean, he can deny the military claim or the intrigue claim, whichever is most important, likely with the Molestown.
Right.
Oh, and he did get cheap builders there.
Yep.
They can trigger the gift. So he's actually got going to have some board presence.
Yep.
But the other issue might actually be the time.
Exactly.
Tournament. So
even if Neil starts to turn it around, it'll be hard for him to win in time, or even get ahead in power.
There is a Nymeria in that hand too, so that is another big problem for its watch.
Yep. Here's the Eastwatch Carpenter. And Craven on the House Florent Knight.
So Craven on the House Florent Knight plus Molestown trigger on the first character marshaled, basically.
Yep.
This isn't effortless for Alex here.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to put in some work to make this happen.
And that claim 2 power challenge does nothing, even if you can win it. So you really have to leverage trying to get unopposed.
Yep.
Is he trying to marshal another House Florent Knight? Is that what he's considering?
Or Ariane?
Yeah, it has to be Ariane, yeah.
$5 gold left. All right, Venomous Blade. So he's going to poison that sworn brother there.
Yeah, there's a logic to that.
Venomous Blade, quite good against the Night's Watch, especially the Builder's deck. Yeah, there's a lot of targets in there.
Got to get rid of that Informer, yeah.
Yep.
No doubt about it. That is the right call.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agreed.
So we certainly got another House Florent Knight that can get rid of another character, but does that really make enough of a difference? I mean, it allows you to win a military and intrigue. He can't jump in a practice blade. He doesn't have the gold for it.
Right. Making a power challenge here with the Grizzled Miner.
So he's got to oppose this, right?
Yeah. Oh.
No. He chooses to. I'm not sure why he can't attack there.
Yeah, I mean, he could.
Yeah. What am I missing here?
I'm trying to.
He could have won 5-4, right? Oh no, 5-5, but still.
Right, but still. Bastard Daughter goes in.
Doing this before the House Florent Knight, he loses the ability to House Florent Knight.
Yeah, I suppose that this does put power on.
I see the power challenge.
Neil's house.
Yeah, that must have been the decision. Yeah, get the extra power.
Yeah.
And where's Dom going with 3?
3, 4, 5.
4. So it looks like Dom. So he doesn't have to do anything else. Dom, or did they already? Yeah, that's game. So Martel wins it. We weren't sure if they had a plan, and clearly either they didn't have one and it worked, or that was actually quite an interesting game to see. I mean, I think in this case, we were certainly sounded to me like I was cheering for Alex Black. Didn't really want to see a Night's Watch Builder deck do well. I've seen what that looks like before.
Right.
But I will say that I think Neil got hurt a little bit by not being able to flood the board early. He did not have the characters. He had to dig for characters, and he didn't hit any of those 1 and 2 costers that he can use to just chain things for the gift. So that's certainly, he'd have loved to be able to drop like he did in that last turn, 4 characters on a 4 gold turn, and he didn't get a chance to do that until then.
Yeah, and he didn't see the wall for a very long time, and once he did, it was immediately shut down by pyromancers. So,
I mean, I think this matchup favors the Night's Watch. I think.
Oh, absolutely. But I think Alex played very well. Neil had kind of a run of bad luck as well.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. You gotta play as if there's a way to win, and in this one, there was.
Yeah. So congratulations to Alex, and we will.
That does not put him in the undefeated bracket. No.
No.
Loss.
Yep. But we'll be coming to round 7, the final round of the Swiss today.
We will.
That game was going pretty long.
Yeah, that was spot 7.
Yep.
Not that Neil had many decision points for challenges, so it didn't drag on that long.
That's true.
Do I do a power challenge, or do I not do a power challenge?
And most of the time, it's like, well, I don't have characters, so.
All right. Yeah. So hopefully those results come in on the Jousting Pavilion shortly.
Yes.
Look at that meticulously rolled playmat. Compared to Neil's, folded nightmare. It's just poor sportsmanship. After the loss, and then you don't roll your playmat well. Just shows. Oh, he's going to re-roll his playmat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're really going to emphasize this.